You know how a handful of people panic every year about the threat of needles or razor blades in Halloween candy? Well, I'm going to talk about needles and their relationship to Halloween in downtown Sydney from a slightly different perspective today. Hi, I'm Joe Ward of Boxer Shorts Media, and I'm late to the game in showing appreciation for the great efforts of volunteers Krista and Shaun Woodill and their colleagues who make an effort to clean up local areas from trash and sometimes dangerous stuff like used needles. I think everyone who goes out of their way to improve the community like this deserves our respect. So thank you to you guys and all of you out there who do so. The Woodills did a social media post showing the shocking number of used needles among other trash collected in the downtown Sydney area, and the public response was so significant that it resulted in coverage from the Cape Breton Post's best journalist at showcasing the human experience in the CBRM. You should definitely check out the Nicole Sullivan article and learn more about the Woodills on their Anything and Everything Environmental Facebook page. I'll include the links in the video description. Now, talking about addictions and the increased activity in downtown Sydney is a controversial topic that can go south quickly. It's important to tread very carefully. If not, we'll go down the rabbit hole, and my observation and the point I'd like to make today will be cast to the wayside. So let me set some boundaries on what I'm talking about today. Although important, my scope isn't about what is necessary to improve our approach or put more resources into helping those suffering from addictions, mental illness, or those who are unhoused for any reason. It's not to target any of them with specific criticism. Although it's a hot topic, whether or not downtown Sydney is or isn't the right place for centralization of the services people with addictions need, I'm not offering it for discussion. So what do I want to talk about? I want to take a look at the calendar at the end of October and share a simple observation with the CBRM and the Downtown Sydney Development Association, a group that is so important to the downtown. On Saturday, October 28th, the Downtown Sydney group promoted Halloween in downtown, welcoming trick-or-treaters for their 4th annual event, and it was a great idea. But the very next day, the Woodills did their cleanup of the downtown core and spent hours picking up trash, including shocking amounts of used needles. I know as soon as finding needles is mentioned, there will be folks to say there's nothing to be afraid of, the risk is low, there are safe ways to handle them, and there are people you can call to get them if you're not comfortable doing so. But clearly, based on the Woodills' cleanup efforts, if anyone had been picking this stuff up, they hadn't done so before Halloween in the downtown. Now, who's ultimately responsible? In my opinion, clearly it's the CBRM, because it's their job to manage the municipality. And as a secondary, I'll say the Downtown Sydney Development Association, because it's their event and they are more than well informed about the activity and risks in the downtown. And they have time in advance to raise any concerns they have with the CBRM. If the Downtown Sydney group didn't want to do a cleanup prior to their 4th annual Halloween in the downtown event, then they should have got well out ahead of it and pressured the CBRM to either get their staff out there to do what the Woodills ended up doing, or to insist that some other party was responsible for doing so, and then make sure that happened. But despite spending tens of millions of dollars trying to beautify the downtown and tens of millions more relocating the NSCC campus to the waterfront, there's nobody in the CBRM whose job it is to pick up the trash in front of the homeless shelter on Townsend Street, or to inform the staff there or anywhere else that they're going to have to keep the sidewalk and alleys clear from trash and debris on a daily basis. That's it. That's the observation. The CBRM isn't making an effort. They let the Downtown Sydney group hold a showcase event on October 28th, and on October 29th, a volunteer group finds a collection of needles that looks like nobody cares what's all over the place, even if primarily in nooks and crannies or hiding places between the buildings, just prior to inviting families and children to come visit. Millions invested, a supposed priority, the primary walking area for tens of thousands of cruise visitors, showcase street events, but nobody making a real effort to cover the basics like daily trash cleanup, a weekly needle pickup, or a persistent reminder to local organizations that it's something that the CBRM considers to be their responsibility. October 28th, a family event. October 29th, a needle collection event. Come on, guys, do better. For all videos, subscribe to Boxer Shorts Media on your choice of YouTube or Facebook.
Please hang up and try again.